Bit of a different video today. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a look around, see what's what with the wiring, the pipe work, the studs and the joists, and to see which kind of structure work needs to be done before I can start putting in the insulation, wall panels and all that. I'm going to start with the wiring. Now obviously the first thing is, and it's probably also the easiest, is I'm going to move the light switch for this bathroom from outside of the room to inside of the room. But the next bit that's got to do with the wiring is this power socket down here. Now this power socket sits on the other side of the wall, so it sits in the main bedroom right next to a radiator. And there's just no use for it where it is. That wall is going to stay a radiator wall for the master bedroom, but that radiator, because the room is so large and this radiator here is so small, will have to be replaced by a radiator that sits vertically on that piece of wall. Probably going to be one that is 1.80 meters. So there isn't really any room for a power socket there, and also the only spots in a bedroom where you really need power sockets, I think, is next to the nightstands. The other use for the power socket there would be to plug in a vacuum cleaner, but because eventually I want to have robots doing this, there is no need for that either. And for any other appliances, the same power socket somewhere next to or close to the nightstand should do the job. So this power socket here can go. I'm going to extend that wire, and then we'll run it all the way to where the hidden cistern for the toilet is going to be located, so that there is a power socket in there close to the sink, toothbrush chargers or anything else. So there's the power socket there, and there's also going to be a surface right above it where you can put the things that you intend to charge or to power. Next thing then, where wiring is concerned, is the light. Now at the moment there's only one light source in this bathroom, and I intend to increase that number to 3. So where I want stuff is I want to have the light source where it is right now, sort of in the middle of the ceiling there. Then I want to have another wire where the sink is going to be, because I would like to have a lit mirror cabinet. And then lastly, because I'm planning on a green wall next to the shower, similar to what I've done in the upstairs hallway, I want to have that lit as well, so that you can have some soft sort of like green illumination when you're in the shower. So I need another wire come out of this wall here. Well, that should be it for lighting. Now, next topic, the pipe work. There's 3 different types of pipes that need to be considered in this room. The first is all of the water supply, where you need running water. So there's the shower, the sink, and of course the cold water supply for the hidden toilet cistern. Then there's the heating pipes, and then there's two pairs of those. So one was the heating pipes over here where the original bathroom radiator used to be, and that was a bit of an unusual setup, because the main heating pipes here were actually run to the other side of this wall into the guest bedroom, and then sort of piggybacking on the hot water supply on that side, they had taken 2 pieces of pipe and poked them through the wall back into this bathroom here to power the towel warmer. And this seems to have been set up in a way where the hot water was first sort of running into the towel radiator and then the water coming out of there, because of course it's a steady stream once the heating is running. Then after the water had given off a bit of its heat to this room here, it was then running back to the other side of this wall and then into the radiator in the guest bedroom. And I kept wondering why that thing wouldn't heat all the way up, like get as hot as the other radiators, and I think that's the reason why. I tried to bleed the other one several times and it was always full, no air coming out, so I think I found that reason. So that's something that's going to be one of the first jobs, because I don't want those pieces of pipe sticking out of the wall there and through the wall there. There's absolutely no need for it, and while I'm at it, this is where you have project creep or scope creep, similar to when I was fixing the downstairs toilet with what I had upstairs before I took this one out. In order for me to fix this, since I have to get at the pipes anyway, I might as well change the radiator on the other side of the wall. So that's going to be one of the first projects anyway, before I can continue with anything on this side. And then the third type of pipe that we have in here is waste pipes. Now, with a waste pipe, or with any pipe work really, that works with gravity, there is a simple rule: you need a fall in your pipe work, and that fall should be 2 and 1, so 2 centimeters in 4 in any meter of pipe, so that you have a 2% gradient in that. And as we can see here, like the old rule or rule of thumb that water doesn't run uphill was probably not quite as popular in with whoever put this pipework in here. Now it's still fine, because where the water comes in still sits higher than where the water leaves the pipework, but still is just really like, it's just still shoddy. I don't understand how anyone puts something like this here and then called it a day, kind of say, yeah, that's good work. No, it isn't. Absolute crap. Anyway, moving on. Now 2 more heating pipes are over on the wall that sits between the door and the exterior wall. I'm not quite sure what the purpose was. I'm thinking that originally the radiator in the main bedroom was meant to sit on that wall until they figured out that with the built-in closets it would interfere with the door opening, like with the closet door opening, so they last minute decided against it, and now it's 2 heating pipes that are poking out on the other side of the wall and that are sort of shut off with a washing machine valve. So that's quite something to see, but for the purposes of me putting in the radiator in here onto a different wall, that's perfect, because I already have heating pipes installed and pretty much where they need to be. There should be very few adjustments needed, so that's a plus. Now moving on to carpentry, more precisely to the stud work and the joists. This is going to be a bit of a head scratcher. I'm going to swing the camera around so that I can better show why. I hope that the camera picks this up. So there's 5 studs on this side of the door, on the right side of the door, that are running vertically, and 2 of those are way out of whack. So 3 align, the 2 close to the wall. This guy here is probably out by 1 centimeter, and that stud here by somewhere between 2 and 3 centimeters, so that's quite significant. Something similar on the left side of the door, but there's quite a significant gap here between the straight edge and that particular stud there. The others are lining up pretty nicely though, so that's all in all not too bad. Again, it's similar on this side, this particular wall here, whereas, well, two studs, these two, they always align, no matter which way I'm holding my straight edge, and the two outer ones are a bit out of whack. If I hold my straight edge like this, running diagonally from bottom right to top left, this guy's out. And if I swap that over, like that, and that guy there has a gap of about 1 centimeter. Now this bathroom is 3.30 meters long, and this is where a 3 meter straight edge really comes in handy. Let's take a look at the stud work here. Some gaps there, mostly 5 mil. That one there may have 1 centimeter. 3 mil, 2 mil, and definitely more gaps down here. So probably somewhere between 6 and 8 mil, 6 mil, 5 mil, round about 2 mil. But the question, of course, is not just whether they all line up nicely, because even if you do have them and they line up, they could still not be plumb, so they could still run at an angle, and that's something you really want to avoid if you plan on putting tiles onto that wall. So let's just take a quick look at how vertical or plumb they are. It's within the bars, but only just. About same, leaning over just the tiniest bit. Oh, this one is pretty warped, but otherwise, it's probably the plumbest I've seen, just within the bars. All right, so that's my stud work. Moving on to joists now. We'll once again use the 3 meter straight edge because it can cover almost the entire length of the room, and just to see how well the joists are lining up to form an even surface. Just bring this down here for a proper view, so we can see there's a gap already. That's 5-6 mil. Quite significant here. That's 1 centimeter, I'd say. And then more gaps here. I'd say about 5 or 6 mil, maybe 4 mil there. Not too concerned about the ones at the far end, because they don't need to line up with the rest of the floor, simply because that's where the hidden cistern is going to be, and I'll bring the entire wall there a bit forward. So yeah, not a major concern. This one here, because it's going to sit under the shower tray, and that needs to be even and level. So we can see that's really quite significant. That is an easy 2 centimeters that joist is sitting too low by. That will definitely require sistering up. So I can see that this joist here and the last one there before the wall, those are the ones that the straight edge is now resting on. These two joists, the rest are all sitting too low. Now the next question is this level? And as we can see, yes, it is. So that's a relief, because otherwise I would have had to bring one of these up a little as well. So that's a straight surface. That's good. The other question is, Does it sit level widthwise? We know that the two level if we go lengthwise, but crosswise is the other question. And we can see it's just inside the bar there, but definitely not sitting level, so that's not good news. Let's see how that looks on the other side. So this guy here is sitting nicely between the bars at even distances. So this one's level, and in any other circumstances I would have called this good news. But because the other reference joist isn't, I'll still have to equalize that somehow and make sure that it'll line up with this one no matter where I put the 3 meter straight edge, whether it sits here or there running down the length, that it's level everywhere. And that is it for this little pre-work survey of this Ensuite bathroom, to see where I am with the pipes, the wiring and the studs and the joists. Now all that's left is for me to figure out where to start first and then get cracking.